Are you skipping right over using one of the most effective song structures in musical theater? Now, to be fair, it's one that a lot of writers, and especially new writers, report as being particularly difficult to write well. But it is an incredibly effective musical song structure that is very useful for not only convincing songs, but also for creating something tuneful for the audience. So, if you can learn how to use this songwriting structure and do it well, then you will greatly increase the size of your musical theater writing toolkit, either by just using this structure outright or by adjusting it to fit the needs of your story. Today we return to the 32-bar chorus in this part 2 of our 4-part series to look at the other major structure of the 32-bar, which is known as either ABAB or ABAC. Now, if you're asking yourself, wait, what is a 32-bar structure? Then I would go back to part 1 of this series where we break down what the 32-bar chorus is, we define verse and chorus and hook and all that is over there, then come back and meet me right here. For the rest of you, let's dive in once again using an example. Now, once again, we are going to walk through the structure as I do it in example form, and we are going to use a song from The King's Legacy. This is a song for Anne Boleyn. It is her character establishment song. It's actually relatively new. And for those of you who are wondering, why aren't you using things from other people? The answer, my friends, is copyright. This I own, so I can easily just use it. But don't you worry, in the next video we will definitely be using songs I did not write. So just like in the AABA example, our A1 is going to set up the idea of the song. It's going to present us with a hook as well as a thesis or a game we are playing. Again, thesis is more common in this structure, but games can be fun to play here as well. Now, one of the major differences in this particular version of the 32-bar is that your A sections are split into 2 4-bar mini sections. Why? Such a good question, thank you for asking. It's because we are going to hear the hook 2 or 3 times right up front in our first A section. Because it's A, B, A, B, therefore we're gonna move on to our B section really fast. So if you, as the audience member, needs to know what the hook is, I gotta tell you, right here, right now. We're not wasting any time. One of the fun things about having the 2 4-bar mini sections in your A1 is that you can modulate between the first half and the second half if you'd like to. If you think about a song like maybe this time, da 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 da, then it moves up, da 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 da, right? Same exact melody idea, but we've shifted it up. Here I don't do a full modulation, I do some tweaking and we go a little higher in the jumps. So we have here a little intro moment as the world freezes. She sings, "That was stupid, that was brash, but a king can do what he wants. He could burn it all to ash, yet still they'd let him do what he wants." Okay, so far the hook seems to be what he wants. The title of the song is actually What I Want, and there's a whole twist in the second chorus, because this is a 2-chorus song. We have 2 full 32-bar choruses. That's what this song is. But that melody, 2 4-bar mini phrases, right? We have da 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 da, da da da, da 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 da, then the hook. Second 4-bar mini phrase, da 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 da, starts the same, then we jump higher, da da da. Now we're gonna move even higher. Da 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 da, then the hook. Great. So we have an idea of what it is. We've heard it twice already. We can move on to something else and add to the argument. Now, the B1 of this structure is going to, yes, provide that refreshment, musically and otherwise. There will be a counter argument or a new perspective or upping the stakes in the game. All those things are still true here. However, we've only had 1 A section so far, which means we kind of have to add to the argument at the same time. This is part of what makes this structure a little tricky, is you have to be able to add more info while providing something fresh. Best of luck to us all. So we just finished that. Still they'd let him do what he wants, but one terrible choice, they all halt and freeze. A fear they cannot voice, they fall to their knees. That's our B section. So that's doing something different, right? We have a similar feel to the movement of the piece so far, rhythmically, that ba ba ba, da da da, that's happening in the accompaniment. But we've moved to different chords. We started on this very open A flat. Now we're on this D flat major with a major 7 here. So it's a kind of a funky little chord progression here. And that's fun. Yeah, but it does feel different. It feels refreshing. However, this begs us to go back to our A flat, right? And that's where we'll head. So remember, we're always leading the ear of the audience forward to the next section. In terms of the melody, very different than before. We have this, but one terrible choice. They all halt and freeze, a fear they cannot voice, they fall to their knees. So if the A sections are about the want, then the B sections are about some sort of consequence, right? Or at least it seems so far. One terrible choice, they all halt and freeze. So someone made a bad choice, clearly the king in this case, and the world has to shift because of that, right? A fear they cannot voice, they fall to their knees. It's all about almost a passive consequence, not the active forward motion that was the idea of doing or saying or taking what you want. So let's move on to our A2. Now our A2 in this structure will again have the hook, but it's only going to have it one time if you already stated it twice in the first A, or if it's a song like maybe This Time, which states the hook 3 times in the first A, you don't have to have the hook at all in this A. So you have more flexibility. State it once if you only did it twice before. You don't have to state it again at all if you did it 3 times. Totally up to you, but that's how the structure works. Our second A section though is going to do the same thing as before, which means we are going to add to the argument or we're going to up the stakes on the game. So let's see where we go here. They fall to their knees and they gather and attend as they fight to give what he wants. Some resist, but in the end, monarchs always get what they want. Ooh, that's a fun chord. So, same idea, right? They gather and attend. Again, action being taken. Before they did something passive. Now this is about active action. Why? Because they are trying to give what he wants. Some resist, but in the end, monarchs always get what they want. We're getting closer to this idea of some people have the ability to get what they want, others don't, right? As she's puzzling through, how do I get what I want? Which is really what the song's about, and ultimately what the whole second chorus is about. But we have here that da 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 da. That is quite crunchy, right? We've had an extra note from before, we've changed registration a little bit, which means we have to go somewhere else. Now, this next section can either be a B or a C, right? So in this, because this is an ABAB example, we'll do ABAC in a moment, this is B2. Why is it a B? It's because the seed, the initial seed of the B, melodically and in terms of the chord progression, is the same as the same seed from the B1. And I misspoke before when I said we moved into the D flat major 7. We didn't do that yet. The first thing at the top of the B is da-da, that move, da-da, onto an F minor chord here. And that's what we're gonna do here. After monarchs always get what they want, da-da, da-da-da, we'll do something slightly different because we have to conclude still. The B2 here is going to bring us to the end of our argument, or wrap up the game, at least one stage of it. So again, if it's a thesis, we have to know where we're headed. Are we headed towards success, toward failure? What are we doing? And also, we have to musically wrap up the entire 32-bar chorus. It's a tricky thing to do. I understand why people don't necessarily love this form. I do. I find it a delightful challenge and I use it all the time. So here we have always get what they want, yet they cannot see that they'd not be free without him. Only he can make them what they'll be, what he wants. So we wrap back up around to the hook. And a lot of the time, ABAC will do this. They will wrap back around to the hook as the last part of the chorus, just to really hammer it home and give that conclusion feel. So again, same idea here with the beginning of the B, but it goes somewhere else and it gets higher, right? We get here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here, then here. Again, we're leading to that A flat, but it's open. It doesn't really feel satisfying, which means we're not done yet. Lyrically, we have, yet they cannot see that they'd not be free without him. Passively, they are like passively unaware, wild. Only he can make them what they'll be. So he's the one who takes action. They can't. And it's what he wants. Now we're gonna say what I want. Right? And she goes on to sing, I'm not stupid, I'm not brash. So I gotta figure out what I want. That is our ABAB. Now, ABAC is slightly different, so let's look at a different example. And I'll just point out here as well that you can still have multiple choruses. You can have a one chorus song, you can do dialogue and interlude, recapitulate to the final B or to the final A and B. You can do the same things we did with AABA here. But if this kind of stuff, like get your engine revved a little bit, you want to try it out, you want to come explore, ask questions, then you should look into the Flagship Musical Theater Writing Workshop course that I teach. We talk all about 32-bar choruses on day one and throughout the entire course because they're hard to write and they're a foundational tool. So we walked you through that. Part of the song challenges. So if that interests you at all, check out the link at the description below and come apply, come join me. We have a lot of fun. Now, no surprise here, we're gonna use another song from The King's Legacy. It is again another Anne Boleyn song. So this is when she is holding her baby daughter, Elizabeth, who is ultimately the legacy. In her arms, she sings to her. It's a song called A Tudor Rose. So I will just play it straight through, one chorus worth. It's a 2-chorus song. And you're going to hear that there is, again, an A section that is split into 2 4-bar phrases, a B section, an A section, which has the hook only once the second time, where it had it twice in the first one. And then we're going to move to something that has a different musical seed than the B, which makes it a C. Is it terribly different? No. But it's not the same, still an inevitable conclusion, and it wraps us back around to the end of the first stage of the argument here. So this is the song A Tudor Rose from A King's Legacy, The King's Legacy. We have, so strong yet so tender, born into splendor, cheeks like a Tudor rose. Soft skin, fair complexion, you are perfection, Lizzie, my Tudor rose, fully him and me. What a peerless queen you'll be, that we guarantee. All England will love you, with none above you. You are the Tudor rose. Use Henry's volition and my ambition, daughter, and you'll keep rising. Your white gown, red upon your crown, the world will see your Tudor rose. So as you can see, it's the same general idea. We're wrapping back around to the hook at the end of the C, which is similar to what we did in the previous song. And you still get a vibe that's similar in your C to the B here, right? We had our B that had this going on, the beginning of that. Fully him and me, what a peerless queen you'll be. That kind of like twinkly sound up there. The vocal went up, but we're doing this D minor, E flat, D minor, E flat, and we're blocking these chords out. Whoops. Great. In our C, again, we're getting that twinkly sound, but now it's going to be an E flat major to an F major. which is important to Elizabeth's music in this whole show. And then we're blocking different chords to end in the same place. So that's how it works differently. They're essentially the same structure, slightly different. Does the seed make a difference? Yes. Does the rest of it make a difference? Not really. Your last section still has to do all the conclusive work, musically and lyrically. So why is this effective, or differently effective than AABA? Unlike the AABA structure, which is a little more rigid in its flow, you have a little more flexibility here to bring in different thoughts, words, and music, which can allow you to move through an argument faster. Yes, this is still keeping you on track for the song to be about one thing, but because we shift sections so quickly, you can more easily and quickly and readily bring in different parts of an argument. It also allows you to bring in counter-argument right away. And because that can be useful for convincing songs, this is a structure that often gets used when one character needs to convince someone else of something, right? Because if you can establish the idea, hit the hook multiple times in that A section, then move directly into counter-argument, it almost cuts them off from jumping in and counter-arguing with you. And again, it's really hard to meander in this form. It's gotta be really, really tight. You only have 32 bars. But again, here's the warning. Because it moves so quickly and flows through that structure with a lot of flexibility, it's a little harder to write than AABA. AABA is heavily structured, which means it's clearer cut. This one is a lot less clear cut. Again, it's a lot of deliberate work with specific and unified intention, which can be tricky if you have 3 distinct sections, an A, a B, and a C, to make it still feel and sound unified. But honestly, when you get it right, people love this song structure. It's just so hard to get right, and that's why a lot of people avoid it. But you shouldn't avoid it, you should learn it. And if you're ready now to move past the 32-bar chorus form to the next of our song structures, the one that is most used in contemporary musical theater, then you should watch this video next. Otherwise,
thank you all for being here with me today, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers!